Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more action here. The DAC group stage comes to you live from Shanghai. I'm Eddie Pixel, I'm here with Gods, and we're ready to take you through a series of Liquid versus IG Vitality. Of course, there's a bit of an update on what the state is with this group. Liquid, they are done for in terms of making it up to the upper bracket. They will have to, regardless of what happens throughout the course of this day. You have to go for the lower bracket of the main event. But IG Vitality, they've got a chance, Gods, and they need to. They may get through right if they get a draw.
They need a win.
Well, they need a win. They need a win. They need a 2-0. Okay.
And then they need NP to draw or lose. So it's not like all up to them. Step 1 is win. Step 2 is some other shit has to happen in some other match. So, and that's out of their control. But hey, you just got to go for the win and hope for the best. Liquid. Oh, for a second that was an invisible hero for me. Get Magnus. Yeah, Liquid themselves. I mean, this is kind of like official match practice, I guess. I'm
yeah,
not
it's
sure
like
how
official scrim.
Yeah,
really.
Don't know how the matchups work for the lower bracket, whether it's done based on group seeding
Is
or
it choice or
choose your opponent. If you choose your opponent, I don't think people want to really choose Liquid, even if they get last in their group. It's a team you probably avoid trying to play, but I think all the teams in Group B are pretty scary to choose, so see.
Could this be the Miracle Sand King?
Could be.
We saw Liquid do it, and did they win that game?
They won that game.
They did win that one.
Naga game.
Yeah, the GH Naga.
Fun game. Perhaps more likely a mind control Sand King with the GH Magnus in the jungle. That's like the last 2 times they've had Magnus, it's been jungle.
One. Yeah.
But never know. Interesting they pick up the Sand King early. Not often I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen mind control Sand King that much this event. But good nonetheless. IG.V, standard picks.
Keeping it safe.
Hopefully no Shadow Blade Jug. They've done it before.
Oh, they are. It depends who plays it, because we saw the Cicada and Paparazzi swapping around roles, at least back in the qualifiers for the Kiev Major.
Yep.
So it depends. I can't remember which one. Who was it? Who was the Shadow Blade buyer?
I want to say it was Cicada.
I think it was Cicada.
Yeah, and then Paparazzi's like, no, please, don't do that ever again. But
we have seen it a few times, haven't we? Even here by different teams.
Yep. So Darkseer Batman, in July's Bat Rider, his best hero, taken out. Darkseer just another offlaner. They're thinking it's going to be dogfights on the Slaughter, which he's normally playing Slaughter, Earth Spirit, Pudge perhaps is another hero of his. But yeah, the Slaughter being picked suggests that's going to be dogfights his hero, unless they want to do something a bit different and put In July on it. Run it in a true 3 position, but not really something necessary.
Yeah. IG.V's bans. Of course, reflecting, as we mentioned, what Liquid did the other day, taking out that GH Naga, and also targeting the Terrorblade as well, so not wanting to go against these big farm, late-game powerhouses that we know that Liquid are very good at utilizing.
Yep. And yeah, they just don't want to Naga game 2, I'm pretty sure. There's still an Alchemist in the pool. Please, no. We don't need no more Alchemist games.
Oh, they might do it, mightn't they?
Yeah, that
is definitely a chance for Liquid.
Power Alk isn't too shabby.
I mean, even IG Vitality, both sides could certainly be looking in and out. Yep. I don't know if they pick an out. Would they pick an Alk third pick if they want to show it? It's more like 4th, 5th stage, isn't it?
Yeah, more likely later on. Although, it seems like a hero you can pick early just because it doesn't really get countered by a lot. It's like always like, well, you want to run an Alk strat, you can, and your opponents can't really like counter pick it. They can change their playstyle to try and deal with it, but yeah, it's tough. So. Also, I don't know if that's what Liquid have in mind for like first game of the day. Just throw it an Alk. It feels like you want to use these matches to work on like more team coordination and stuff. Use this as like practice for the main event. I don't think picking Alk really achieves that. No. Another CM. This has been their go-to 5 position support, more like a 6 position with how much Kuro has had to support. Now that GH has gone super greed mode with his 4 position.
Yeah, and then the support I say support combo, but more like obviously that 4th kind of core level, GH Magnus and solo support kind of Kuroki on the scene that we saw them do the other day. They ran this duo, CM and Magnus, in the 4-on-5.
They take it too much to the extreme, though, with how much like Kuro is sacked and how greedy they sometimes are. They got away with it in that game 1 versus NP, but that was because NP's draft was pretty garbage. But not always going to be the case where your opponents let you do these greedy drafts. Samitsa.
IG Vitality. I mean, we saw yesterday, that was MP's little bit of a treat to bring down Liquid in that second game. And IG Vitality looking to try and pull a bit of a similar one. As I mean, I'd imagine it is most likely to be the mid silencer. Would you say? Or have we seen any support silencer this?
The Chinese teams run it more as a support.
Okay.
Yeah, they're more inclined to play that 5-position silencer. So I'd slightly lean that way.
Okay.
It's picked more in the mid lane if it's like known if it's going to have a good matchup and kind of counter pick something. But it could definitely still be either. It's good against all these teamfight ultis. You look at Liquid's draft. Good for the protecting the slaughter initiation. He blinks, crushes in, and sets up like a good fight for you, and doesn't just get blown up, and your team can guarantee a quick kill or two. So, see what Liquid's response is going to be. Auk is always good against silencer drafts, but oh, please no, please no.
This is normally where they would pick it, isn't it? Their fourth pick. That's normally when Liquid do grab it if they want to go that route.
What's the other approaches? And Miracles and Invoker's banned out, so other mid heroes. Like the TA we saw, he had a pretty rough game on TA. You're thinking also like who's a good Empower target. At least from like either the carry or the mid roll, you typically want to get at least one hero that can benefit from the Empower. Troll Warlord, there we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Not so much like a Liquid style draft, but this is definitely a style of draft we're seeing a lot of. Like CIS teams are doing this a lot. Like this was saying Na'Vi, Empire were doing like this Magnus Troll duo. It was very, very popular. So taking kind of a page from what some of the other teams are doing. It feels like Liquid are trying to reinvent themselves a bit at this tournament. They had such a good style ladder, and then they started struggling and then just started picking all kinds of different stuff, readjusting their roles. Does feel like they're in like a finding themselves, a soul-seeking kind of stage.
And I guess this is the time to do it, isn't it? Really, last big event before a major.
Yep.
This is the time to certainly try and find your footing in this patch.
Yeah, definitely has been a pretty volatile patch in the sense like the meta's shifting very quickly and new trends have developed and shown up very quick, like out of nowhere. Like this greedy 4-position play, like from Magnus jungles, the Abaddon. Like there's some heroes. I mean, there's some heroes that have just been good consistently from the start of the patch to where we are now. But there's been a few heroes that like have come in, being really good. You got to suddenly play them, and then they kind of just faded out. So we'll see what the call's going to be. IG.V Weaver.
Oh, there we go. I mean, I was looking to be indicating that it's probably likely that the Jug is going to go towards that mid lane with the Weaver in the safe lane. And indeed, as you mentioned, Silencer to be support this matchup and IG Vitality. I mean, I guess with obviously two of Injuly's most popular offlaners being banned out, they could say, let's put him on the Slardar and pick something else to pair up with the Silencer. I mean, they could still switch it around like that, IG Vitality.
Yeah,
depends how they want to go with this last pick. I mean, offlane wise, is there? There's still quite a fair few options open up for the offlane pool.
Yeah, there's enough. I feel like the offlane pool has kind of widened a lot more now with here's like Abaddon coming back and just the way the jungle's working, and it's a lot harder to it's a lot easier to contest and a lot harder to secure your safe lanes these days with the shrines there. Can't even buy slippers from the side shop anymore, which hurts carries quite a lot. But Weaver hasn't done too well this tournament. 30% win rate in 10 games.
That's pretty low.
I feel like the hero just doesn't do enough damage is normally its main problem out of the carry role. It doesn't burst heroes down. It's very pesky and annoying and very good at getting to the backlines and killing supports. But as far as how it matches up against other cores, it's pretty bad against like most heroes just because it takes too many damage items to really break them. And there we go. Auk ban. Thank you. Thank you, IG.V. Banning out Nagas, Auks.
There we go. It was one of the offlaners at the moment, despite the constant nerfs, especially of course in that Ags item pickup. But as we're seeing, a lot of teams, just realizing that the Ags isn't needed. You can still certainly build and play this hero in a way that just abuses how powerful it can be as a frontliner.
Yeah, they're doing
an escape mechanism.
This new like Heart of Tarask build where they get like Hood blink and then just rush a heart,
and then AC into it, isn't it? Really to just be arguably one of the tankiest heroes potentially with those two items in this game.
So Liquid's game plan going to be coming out now with Miracle's last pick.
What's it going to be?
TAs, Shadow Fiends. One of them probably right clicker against the Sounds.
Oh, okay. So what have we got going on here for Liquid?
They're doing mid-mag. This is
the mid-mag?
Less greedy. They're going for a non-greedy draft. So. This is a. I mean, again, we talked about Liquid just changing their look and mixing it up here, and they're assuming this is GH Monkey King. Or Kuro Monkey King.
I mean, GH Magnus, of course, maybe he's going to go mid. I mean, I feel like Liquid, you just don't know what they're going to do. As we know, this game for them is not that important. They may We've
core
already seen them
Monkey King.
switch round roles. They may do something that surprises us.
Yeah.
All very exciting, but Vitality certainly, yeah, with their nothing too surprising from them. Maybe the science are a little so, but as you mentioned, it's something that the Chinese teams do certainly like to dabble with. So, and we're going to certainly see IG Vitality go full try hard. They need to win this series if they want to have any chance, as we mentioned, of making it to the upper bracket. They need both games as a win, and they've got the lineup to do so. But yeah, that final pick, Monkey King.
Last time, Liquid had one game on the hero at this tournament, I want to say, and it was Kuro playing it. Which was perhaps a bit different from what you see from most teams, because normally it's the 4-position player doing it. But Kuro also plays the bounty hunter for this team. He plays kind of those roaming, kind of strategic setup heroes that scout for the team. So I think that's kind of the idea there, where him and GH will sometimes swap roles a bit, whereas GH plays like some of the maybe more flashier 4-position heroes, the Rubiks, the Sladas when it's needed. He plays some of those like kind of Earth Spirit roaming type heroes, not like the Vision scouting heroes.
Here we go, though. Here's the reveal. Who have we got on what on the side of Liquid? It is indeed Kuro CM. Mind Control on the offlane Magnus. It will be the Miracle Monkey King, which is going to be quite... I mean, how will he still go mid with the Monkey King, or will he roam as we've seen him with the Sand King?
He's got a poor man's shield. He's going mid.
This is going to be very, very interesting indeed. He's going to be up against a Juggernaut in the mid lane.
That's
so
right.
You've got the range melee advantage in terms of the length of that staff.
The range melee advantage.
You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. It's just funny hearing.
I mean, I want to say as well,
Yeah.
I think you can probably hit him outside the range of the Blade Fury. I want to say
Probably.
you can reach across the blades and hit him without the Blade Fury touching you.
Yeah.
If you're able to kite him out.
It's a 300 range.
All right, this is.
Maybe we see like a boots rush rather than going for a fast bottle. I mean, both Jug and the Monkey King want to take that approach, but. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this mid lane goes.
I mean, he's what kind of backup? I mean, IG.V, do you think they might send someone to sit there with Cicada, or do you think they'll just kind of let him deal with that matchup on his own?
Some Silence or Harass could come in. Super's also theoretically meant to be helping secure the safe lane, which is a tough lane with Mind Control going for the early poor man shield. Can't harass him so easily with Weaver right clicks, but imagine, yeah, Slaughter dogfights, he can roam around, look to just run in, get some crushes onto Miracle, set up some Blade Fury harass, so we'll see what dogfights can do with his Slaughter. But similarly, Sand King is not going greedy. We're not seeing like a jungle mag. We're not seeing GH jungle. He's got boots first. He's going kind of an aggressive Sand King this game. And we'll be looking for a first spot at top. He's going to sneak himself into the trees and hoping that Centaur pushes up with the wave and gets a bit greedy. Often Centaur will expect like only 2 heroes to be around. He also bypassed the Observer Ward, so he may not have seen Sand King in the neighborhood. So good chance that in July gets too aggressive here and gives up a first blood.
Oh, we can see in the middle lane, Dogfight is just going to be the one to come in and help out Cicada, and in fact straight away getting a fair bit of harassment with the body blocking as well. Miracle's in trouble. They're going to move in for this, and that's going to be where the first blood ends up happening. And indeed, in return, Liquid, can they get this in July? Still has the Who Stomp, only gets it onto the Sand King though, and it looks like that won't be good enough to save him, and indeed it won't. But at the end of the day, Vitality the first ones to secure the hit in the mid.
Yep. It was a good setup at top, but Sand King knopping around the mid lane means there's no response to Dogfights just swooping in and setting up what was a pretty free, straightforward kill onto Monkey King. So you asked if he was going to get help against the Monkey King, and the answer is very much assuredly yes, as Miracle find himself off to a bad start. And Cicada already with boots, bottle queued up. He's going to have some good farm.
Miracle will get the stacks up now, so maybe I'll take that extra bit of harass if Cicada comes close. Indeed, Cicada doesn't want to get hit. As, at the same time, they're trying to use it to sort of bait Miracle into a false sense of security potentially. Dogfights, sprinting in and out, looking for some sort of a crush, but GH, indeed, there with the rotation if anything goes down.
You don't get the bonus damage on denies, do you, from Jingu? Or how does the Jingu
I want to
work
say,
with
I
denies?
think it does use up a charge.
Okay, but you get the bonus damage. You wouldn't get the. Do you get the life steal? Do you know? You're a
I
Monkey King
I
picker.
should know. Yes.
You're a Slack
I don't
picker.
know.
You're a Monkey King picker. You're down there with the
I'm
the
pretty sure
riffraff
that
of Dota
it does
2
cost
players.
a charge. We'll see.
Yeah, I was hoping he went
intrigued
for a
now.
deny and I'd find
Yeah.
out there, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's like like Kunka's Tidebringer where it doesn't use up the splash.
Yeah.
Bottom lane though.
Jeez,
Mind
solid
control.
kill.
Waltzes in and with a quick skewer slow, able to pick that one up and
Race for the
dogfights.
rune. Doesn't
Nice.
go for it.
And with that, in fact, Miracle will have to be a little bit careful. They'll obviously know that Invis rune is there on dogfights, but no sentry, of course, in the mid lane. As Miracle has to be wary of this. He'll be very apparent of Cicada's movements, and as soon as Cicada starts to go in with any kind of aggression and tendencies, Miracle should know.
Yeah, level 2 Blade Fury, so a bit of extra damage from that spin if he can get in close for it.
Maybe could have gone for the crush there.
Still fairly close to tower, so
Yeah.
you don't want Jug tanking tower shots while he's Blade Fury down at half HP already, so...
Got their eyes on GH instead. It's level 1 with that burst. The courier! It's going to be a bit of a courier bait. Dogfights, holds GH back away from it, hits the crush. Not actually any further follow-up. We did see in July relatively close, but didn't end up coming the full way around. Focused on just clearing up these stacks, getting himself these early levels and early farm here safely.
GH is coming back in though. He knows that this is what Injuly is doing, and we'll at least try and keep tabs of him, try and leech some XP where possible, but still level 1 tanking. CM getting the farm in the jungle will hit her level 3, perhaps even getting second point in Aura or Nova, we'll find out. Getting that early Aura helps your team a lot. Your entire lineup benefits a lot from this. Perhaps Troll a little bit less than others. But
Lane, how's he getting away with this? Mind Control is going in fully ham, and each and every time killing off at least the support. And in fact, oh, hang on. Could be very, very close to Paparazzi being in danger as well. But
yep.
I mean, you do give a kill to the core, but you're getting solo kills on your own and instigating the action.
Mind Control's I'd say he's almost been the stand-up player for Liquid this tournament so far. He's been the most consistent. He's always getting a lot in his lane. He had a really good Legion game we saw. But even the games where they're losing and struggling, I feel like Mind Control is always playing very well. Mid
lane. Making the go on to Miracle there with the first crush and the Blade Fury follow-up. Miracle falling low. The Fairy Fire comes out. Cicada's going to look to chase. Has got those phase boots in a second. Miracle starting to salve up. Turns around, gets 1 hit, 2. There's the control, and he builds up the Jingu. Takes the kill.
Why is he chasing that? I guess he's banking on the phase boots, but Monkey King has very high base movement speed compared to a lot of heroes, and he was chasing very recklessly into a
Look at
boundless
this bottom
strike
lane.
stun.
I can't believe what we're seeing. The third time Mind Control's just waltzed in and killed the Silencer. I mean, he is giving up kills to Paparazzi, so twice I'm starting to question if that's worth it for him.
Yeah, it's a bit more borderline he's also spending a lot of time dead, so he immediately comes back to lane, gets a kill, but then dies, so he's not getting CS, he's not really getting a ton of XP out of the lane, so that death probably not quite as worth it, but ultimately still, I mean, really keeping the Silencer busy in that lane, creating some good space for his team to work with.
Yeah. And I mean, you're letting the Weaver kill you, but at the same time, you're drawing him away from the CS. I mean, you look at the difference at the moment between Matumba and Paparazzi is certainly there. 42 on the Troll, and also on the borderline of taking a tier 1 as well. So Matumba Man, certainly with the freer opening, and in fact with this scan as well, they've hunted down in July, hiding in the tree line. And that's going to be a bit of a kill involvement for Matumba. He'll make sure that he gets the tower, and also turns across looking for the kill, and he'll pick it up as well. So gold, gold, gold going the way of this Troll Warlord.
Yeah, really, really good start for Troll. Towers, kills, CS, he's got it all. He is rich, rich, rich right now. As Team Liquid going to make a move, it looks like, through this enemy jungle towards the mid lane. They are lurking around, although Cicada on the Jug, not the easiest here to gank by any means.
We'll go level 3 Blade Fury, the phase boots as well. Miracle, obviously finding it very hard to get those stacks built up with the movement speed of this Jug. In and out each time they begin to count. Dogfights coming back across towards that mid lane. And Liquid, yeah, as you said, hanging around, but doesn't look like they will be able to see an opening in the middle, unless they can do something about in July. Is in the neighborhood, and they will get a bit of a wraparound here as they pincer him in from both sides. Do they have the control and damage? That's the question. In July still has that Who Stomp. Dogfights is coming across as well to help out, and with that, In July is going to be fine, and a good TP in here from Paparazzi looking to get involved. We'll look towards the easier kill first, surrounding Kuroki. They'll take the CM. Can they get Matumba as well? They've got another crush if Dogfights can close the gap. Still a good amount of time with the sprint. And in fact, Matumba Man misses the slow onto the Slardar. GH is there to try and help out, but Paparazzi dukes out the stun. Matumba Man will turn, though. Gets the kill. Paparazzi, though, again, he should be able to clean up, and he does. A double kill for the Weaver. So Matumba Man at least getting something on the way out, but it's Paparazzi that he's getting some big kills this game. A couple of kills, on the Magnus, and now turning up top and taking down Matumba +1.
Yeah, he made a really nice sidestep there. Sanking went for the two-man burrow, kind of anticipating Weaver just to run in a straight line to go for the kill, but Weaver dodges the burrow strike while getting the kill, making sure that he does. If he gets caught in that, perhaps Matu survives. I don't think Weaver dies. He had a lot of one charges, but very likely would not have been able to get the kill.
Super got a bit of space down bottom whilst that was all going on. Pick up some CS as in July will now actually head down here to look to pick up some farm. Paparazzi, of course, already just in space up top, so just a bit of a lane switch, making the most as they can from the map and what it offers. Miracle as well, interesting. Phase boots and has queued up the Echo Saber, something that we're not really seeing Monkey Kings do, but I guess that's because we've been seeing this position for Monkey King that pretty much always just goes straight for the basher to get it as soon as they can. But in a core position, the Echo Saber, I guess, certainly more favorable. Just to have something a little bit quicker, have those extra stats, and mean that you can get something done before necessarily waiting for that big pickup.
Yeah, it's a nicer build up, and you know you're going to get the basher. The thing with the support one is it's like, well, you may only farm up one item, so you'd rather have a basher than the Echo Saber for that. But yeah, as it stands, Miracle in pretty good spot in terms of how he's recovered. That jug dive really was a bit throwy from Cicada, to put it bluntly, but still, like he managed to get the early kill and lose a bit of his lead, but can still be effective on this Juggernaut this game. Centos had a rough time. He's probably the hero that struggled the most. Hasn't got his level 6 yet. Is less farm than the support Sanking. So we'll see what the plan is there for recovery. It looks like he's going to take over the safe lane now that Weaver's getting more active and roaming around and being a bit more present on the map. Nope, not fixed. Perhaps some lag or something?
Yeah,
Super
I
is
imagine
like,
so,
go
yeah.
try
it.
Might be experiencing some issues. FPS or something, never know. And we'll have a reconnect coming in. And yeah, I imagine Liquid are pretty happy with the state of things. Matu can start power farming through the jungle, the Ancients. He's got Empower to work around with. Even just a level 1. Just having some cleave is going to be useful there. He's going to go straight into a casual Morbid Mask as well. We've seen a lot of Lads on Troll. But definitely this is one of the best heroes that benefits from lifesteal for jungling, for Roche. Sometimes you get the casual mask, save it later to upgrade to Satanic, or you can go for the early Vlads.
Paparazzi as well, this game, obviously Weaver, one of those heroes that we see a lot of variance in which order you want to pick the items up. It's looking to just build up the Dragon Lance first, and I guess it makes sense just to have that early bit of tank as well against a lot of control. You know, this Weaver was picked into a lineup where Liquid certainly have ways to catch him. Yep.
Yeah, tons of stuns, and he needs all the stats he can get. Probably should pick up like a casual Blightstone or something. He's got the slot for it, but not the biggest deal. Just looking to use his money elsewhere, and yeah, I mean, as it stands, I feel like Liquid perhaps slightly better off in the laning stage, but things will change very quickly when Blink Daggers start coming online. You've got 2 good Blink heroes on the Radiant side, Magnus and Sanking, 2 good ones on the Dire side, so it's going to be how the teams play the mid game when it comes to execution from those big initiators and how well they can kind of enable their cores to be effective. Like Troll's very reliant on the Magnus and Sanking to set up kills for him, otherwise he gets kited around. Jug may be a little less reliant, but still important to have that set up for him. Weaver definitely not so important, but Weaver needs the control to protect him. So, but yeah, right now, pause Dota. Been very smooth. You were saying.
We have, yeah. There's one delay really yesterday where we had on the second stream a game. It was IG versus IG.V. IG versus Newbie, one of those two. I think IG versus Newbie it was. There was delay for a little bit at the start, but yeah, as you mentioned, must be lag issues or performance issues at least. But for the most part, the PC's here. So there hasn't seemed to be any issues really from the players with them. Everything's been working a-okay.
Everyone just assumes everything's going to go to shit every time there's a LAN in China.
It's true. And I think people will be disappointed because this one's been pretty smooth.
Yep.
So,
The track
unfortunately, the
record's
memes can't be made here, boys.
Their track record's not awful. It's just they had one really awful.
Yeah, they've got a lot of offsetting to do.
Last DAC wasn't perfect, but it was still a good event. That was the one where...
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, people remember good things about that.
Yep. It was. I mean, the games were really good. The results were... There were some hype matches. I remember it was the DAC where Charlie had to go to IKEA and buy a bunch of chairs.
Oh, that was the chair one, wasn't it?
That was the chair one.
The chair one. We've got good chairs. The chairs look really fancy this time. I like the kind of golden rimmed gamer chairs. Oh, very nice.
I'm gonna complain we didn't get jackets. Even coaches and managers
dude, those
got
jackets are so hype.
Yep.
Those kind of gold gangster bling jackets.
Yep.
Dude, we need some of those.
That's if you want us saying good stuff about your events on air and
if we had those jackets
on Twitter.
They are some nice jackets. Yep. Yeah, I think the coaches got them, and I think the managers as well.
Yep.
That's the players.
Even at TI, only players get them.
Yeah, we don't get any there. We had to buy them. I think I bought a jacket last year. Doesn't have my name on, of course. Sad times.
That's what you get the Sharpie for. Put like a highlighter.
OD pixel. Absolutely.
All right.
So we might get goodies in the main event. I remember Shiva was saying that last DAC they were giving out. What did she say you got? You weren't there, were you? Because you did the remote coverage last time, right? There was a remote.
Shiva
and she was just here for interviews.
Zayori, I think, was there doing interviews.
Yeah. Because you covered it from LA.
From LA, yeah.
From LA.
We had a little Summit House hub going on at the old house back in the old rough days.
I'm trying to remember if that. Yeah, I remember tuning in. Yeah, you had it was with like Suns fan was casting, right?
Suns fan and Syndrome
Suns
were there.
fan and Sin were there.
Bruno was hosting, I'm pretty sure. That was
Bruno was with
Bruno
you guys
was
there.
he was the main host for it. I'm
was
pretty
he?
sure. Was that Bruno?
Was that
that was
DAC?
Bruno's last event, maybe, or one of his last.
Oh, he's
events.
last hosting DAC.
Pretty sure he's hosting DAC.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember him hosting it.
He had a whiteboard too. Bruno
Did
with
he?
a
That was
whiteboard at DAC. We're keeping track. We're just keeping track and scores and points of something. I can't remember what. I'm pretty sure. Suns fan cast a game with a horse head on. Maybe I'm thinking of the TI qualifier hub we did, but no.
But Bruno wouldn't have hosted that, would he?
No.
So yeah, Bruno was DAC.
Bruno was DAC. Had Suns fan and Sin casting there. Yeah, it was a good tournament. We did some weird thing, I remember, because the finals was like, oh, we all want to cast, so we'll alternate. So game one, we had one casting take.
You just switched to each
switched
game.
to every game, and everyone was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Let's just choose someone next time. But that was fun. It was it was a good event. That was back in the EG Secret rivalry days. I think Vici also did really well that tournament. Back when Black did really well. He got second place at that DAC.
Oh, was that when he was playing with Vici?
Yeah.
Still.
He got second, and then
so he's
right
got
after that
a
event,
good DAC track record.
Yeah. Well, has he now after Faceless's group stage run?
That's only the group stage there.
Okay.
Everyone goes through to main event.
Yep.
There's still time to turn it around. Make your way back to that final.
He is on level with 7 other teams. 8 of the 12
True.
teams are lower bracket teams. So.
Yeah, and I imagine Vici probably did quite well in the groups. I
don't remember the format.
That was a long time ago. It was 1 year ago, 2 years.
2 years. It was
2 years ago. Yeah, it must have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before I was casting.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, here we go.
He's
Super. Oh, he's reconnected a few
times.
times. Okay, I've only just noticed that.
Yeah.
All right. He's been in and out.
I don't think that was my water. I just picked up water.
This
is my water.
You've got a disease now.
Whoops.
You muppet. Oh, here we go. We're back in. He's going to try. Are we going to get a pause again? Super. Is he lagging? Let's see. See if he misses any CS. Then we'll know.
How fast does he click
How
the bounty
fast does he
ring?
move? You know, that's how you can tell. Look at this.
Ooh, that was a pretty low delay bounty ring
little
pickup.
Carlay there. No, he's good. We're in. We're back and we're good. Mid lane, Miracle is potentially not good here.
Wow, look at that damage though.
That's a lot of days. Ooh, he's dead. One more touch. Oh no, he doesn't get it off. Oh yes, he does. Oh my goodness. They both end up going down, but suddenly here comes GH and Mind Control and Matuma with the absolute total annihilation.
Easy peasy.
Vitality. I don't think they were expecting it. I think they probably just come back after that pause. And Liquid were more prepared than IG Vitality were to continue.
Normally after a pause, you're like, okay, there's a post-pause truce where it's like, all right, there was just a pause, guys. Let's
where you work out where
farm
everyone
for
is.
2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No fighting because we just had a long pause. But nah, Liquid are like,
Liquid are straight
screw
in.
that.
And they might find more here. Ooh, GH couldn't quite go for the Burrow Strike there on Super. Be happy focusing that tower in the mid lane.
Yeah, Matthew's being very active, pushing towers, roaming with his team. He's not playing this roaming, not playing this farming troll, much more active roaming around.
What's the, yeah, as you said, yeah, just the casual mask and then the SMY. Yep. Standard stuff.
Bit more late game oriented build, not going for the Vlads, since keeping the casual mask is like, hey, I want to build a Satanic later on. And also just not like a team pushing item.
Oh, IG.V smoking up and making a beeline for this bottom lane. Of course, they know that no RP. That's still not necessarily the easiest of fights unless they can find someone out on their own.
Sanking might get his level 6. He's got a bounty rune. He's going to get the epicenter.
In July, what's the route? 900 towards that blink. Magnus, of course, mind control after that great little fight he had in the mid lane. He's 1200 on the road to his. And dog fights, I'd imagine now, just a little bit further away, still halfway. Now Miracle getting some space up on the top lane. It really is, yeah, as you mentioned, just Batuma Man being in the best position so far this game. Clear 1,000 ahead of Paparazzi's Weaver.
Yeah, he's got some good farm. Just go back to the jungle. Just farm away. Just be a quiet little potato farmer. Wait till he farms up enough to go fight with. Perhaps even just wait for an RP cooldown. But he's happy to just be left alone in his little farm with his little hellbears and take what he can.
Oh, GH has nearly got his blink actually.
Yeah, he's going to beat.
That's going to be the first one.
Centaur and Slaughter to the punch, which is a game like this can be a big deal. It means you're the ones who kind of control the tempo. You get blinks before your opponent, so you can start smoking around, finding picks, jumping, getting the jump, perhaps slowing down IG.V's blinks if you get some key pickoffs on them.
Miracle trying to be a bit proactive here up on the top lane, but yeah, they've not got any vision here on this high ground. They are aware, of course, that he's around. And again, just getting himself out. Does have to be careful with Cicada dogfights in the neighborhood. But just drop a stun out.
It's a level 5 on Slaughter. It's a bit underleveled, even though his gold kind of is an alright place. And Matu going to continue pushing towers.
Big lot of pushing power here with that Empower and Mind Control backing him up as well. Top lane. Miracle continue to keep eyes on the rest of IG.V. As they could, yeah. They'll finish it off. More money into the pocket of Matumba as he gets the final touch.
Get your Yash out of your backpack, mate.
Oh, yeah. Efficiency, come on.
He'll notice, but it's a matter of how long.
There we go. He switched it over now, taking the Quelling Blade away for it. Miracle. Maybe, yeah, he's calling him, he's pinging behind the trees.
Good position to be in. They can get the jump on the silencer.
So certainly can. Let's see what they can do.
Without a blink.
And there we are. Straight up with the ultimate and the stun, holding Super within the Wukong's command. Dogfights comes in, takes a fair bit of damage. Now a GH blinking forward. Finds the Burrow Strike. They found a second Liquid. Cicada will come in with the Omni Slash, but it will be shared and Mind Control. Gets the RP onto 2. GH comes in with the Epicenter as well. Cicada will be fine with the Blade Fury to duke out the damage. But they've picked up a third as In July to fall as well. And Liquid, they aren't done quite yet. GH once again blinking into position with a follow-through Burrow Strike. Cicada will get taken out as well as Liquid. Very, very easily clear up on this top lane. Getting that bottom tower and protecting the top one.
Great initiation from Miracle. The ulti with the Boundless Strike, getting Silencer instantly killed with the help of a Shockwave. And Slaughter tries to go in and contest it, but he sprinted into a Wukong's command, takes extra damage, got hit like 3 or 4 times instantly and just melted. He got destroyed. It was not a fight for him to take.
Things looking very, very good for Liquid. And of course that last fight allowing Mind Control to get his blink complete. He'll cure that Midas next. And Miracle, a few hundred gold away from the Echo Saber completion.
It's going to be a scary pickup when you consider what he can do in the Wukong's command team fight like he just did. He's going to have Empower as well.
Mid lane here, we're going to see the setup, the Burrow Strike into the skewer backwards. Do they actually have the physical damage to bring him down? And no, not at all with these 3. They don't quite have the punch to take him through the Blade Fury. They need that Troll or the Monkey King, really, if they want to try and bring down Cicada like that.
Yeah, no real kill opportunity for them, but Now poised to perhaps strike again in this bottom lane. RP coming up soon. Paparazzi has to be... There's so many things that can kill Paparazzi this game.
They've got a lot of answers for him.
There's 2 blink stuns. There's a boundless strike with a long range stun. There's the bash from the troll, a frostbite. Very difficult game for Weaver.
We'll see what the game plan is here from Liquid GH. Epicenter back and available, and indeed good kind of timing with Mind Control's RP.
Ultis, yeah. They'll be ready to go. Take any kind of a team fight now, and boys, their team fight the scary of the two as it stands. Jug is very underfarmed, underleveled, only level 9. Has scraps to put together towards his diffusal blade, but doesn't really feel like that's going to... I mean, there's no item that I'm like, oh, that's going to turn around Jug's game. Regardless, it feels like, similar to the Weaver, there's a lot of things that can kill him. These blink insta-stuns, and there's no good, reliable save. You can silence, but if you're already stunned and being right-clicked by a Monkey King or a Troll, you may just die during that silence.
This smoke instantly getting dispelled from Miracle hiding on the tree line, and IG.V's play will be foiled. Quick in reaction, though, Liquid smoking up behind the cores, looking to try and catch IG.V off guard. They've still continue to group together. IG.V heading towards the top lane now. Question is if Liquid can find this wraparound Matuma with the D ward. And could, yeah, they could go Roche with the Empower. It could be still a little risky.
I mean, it's
it's
not really risky to the extent that a team fight is just scary. I mean, yeah. IG.V can come. Like, they don't care if IG.V know because they're happy to take a team fight right now. Monkey King will scout out the heroes coming in. He puts himself on the cliff. He's ready to fight. And I think contesting this Roche in the RP epicenter, Wukong's command is just a nightmare waiting to happen. I don't think that's something IG.V can do. And that's with a global silence. I feel like this silence pick just doesn't work because even though they've got global silence, they still can't initiate easily.
What can they do?
In
July's got the blink. He's going to have to go for it blind. He's going to have to go for it quick, and he's not. It's already gone. They've got the Aegis. He will still jump in after Roshan's been taken down, and Liquid, they don't only get Roshan and Aegis. They get a kill as well for Matumba. And they may not be done yet. Miracle already with the chase down. It hits the 2-man stun. The ult's out. The slow onto dogfights. They pick a second. Liquid getting everything there that they could hope for and more with IG.V turning up on a silver platter.
Yeah. I feel like even if they get there early in time to contest the Roche, it's probably an ugly fight. A really well-timed global silence is the only way that fight can happen for them. Like they global as they blink Centaur stun and instantly delete a hero, but Jug doesn't have they don't have a good follow-up to Centaur. He blinks into the pit from the north, and the entry to the Roshan pit is to the south, so his entire team have to like work their way around to get into the pit. There's no Jug blink, there's no... I mean, Weaver can Shikuchi for some extra movement speed, but there's no follow-up for Centaur because of the angle that they initiated with. That made it very difficult to take that fight.
And with IG.V coming around as well, they don't even get potentially one of the objectives they could have. That tier 1 at the top lane still standing. Very low as well. Liquid can deny if they head over that.
Paparazzi. Careful, my friend.
I'll try and go for the blind stun, but it's just off point. Nonetheless, Liquid bringing the creep wave round. They still have those 2 big RPs, the big ultimates, the RP and the epicenter. So they're feeling very confident with this push. Aegis, of course, still there on Matuma Man, yet to be touched.
July just trying to chomp trees.
I was like, where's Miracle? There he is. He's here. He's this tree on the tree. I was actually looking. Okay, there he is. He's going to go straight up for the ult. They're ready to fight it. GH in with the Burrow Strike onto Dogfight. Silence has already been taken out, and they're also going to lose in July. Matuma Man surviving by the skin of his teeth, and it's another 3 easy kills for Liquid. As Vitality just getting caught out, out-visioned. Miracle's positioning, just allowing Liquid to set up for these plays and making it very hard for IG Vitality to come out and hope to form some sort of a defense outside of their base. The double sentries are out for Liquid. A little bit of a misplay, but of course it doesn't matter. With the lead that they have, the pressure that they've got going on, they can afford to waste a sentry.
Yeah. What's 100 gold? I mean, Kuro's not getting items anyways this game. He's playing that hard support, as has been the case for some time, it feels like, with Liquid. And, well, a very convincing push from Liquid. They don't get a tier 3 tower, but they take the tier 2, they take the fight, they back off. They've still got Aegis in hand, and they're going to pick up a couple more big items to work around as well. Magnus going to go for a mech for the team, so a bit more team-oriented. It's I mean, if this is GH, I'd be like, whoa, that's a surprise, but it's Mind Control. He's doing what's needed for his team, and
And I guess kind of similar to the situation yesterday where we saw the Timber build one. It's going to be very nice against the Silence. If he goes for the full Greaves, and he's already got those Arcanes, so yeah, indeed. Very likely, yeah. He's got the full Greaves queued up. So that'll be nice to have. Top lane. RP straight up. They'll take every kill when they can, as Liquid, of course, in a position where they don't really need the ultimates now for the team fights. They just have so much of a power edge. Kuroki will be taken down. It's just a CM, and of course, Mind Control is already well out of that.
Yeah. Not really ideal to trade 1-for-1 when you're ahead this far, but also not too big of a problem. It's still a support, still a CM, and Liquid going to pick up a Shadow Blade now in Miracle. He's going to have even more elusive tools to play around and be pesky with.
Oh, he's yeah, the Desolator as well.
On the Troll?
On the Miracle, yeah.
He had Shadow Blade.
He did have Shadow Blade queued up.
Coming out.
Yeah,
Okay, no, he went Deso.
I guess he changed his mind after he got the cash influx on the top lane.
Yeah. So like
Maximum
one-shots and heroes.
Kind of getting caught out here. The Global as well. GH has tried to come in to help him out, but a little bit of trouble here. They'll lose the Aegis. GH getting surrounded. Mind Control doesn't have that RP, of course, because he used it for that top fight. Miracle does have the Wukong's command coming in. The skew onto 2. They've cleaned up to make that 3. And again, Liquid coming out on top in these team fights.
His damage output's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, with the Desolator, it is absolutely ridiculous. Desolator, Empower, getting the Wukong's command out on the playing field. There's just so little Vitality can do. I mean, people on the internet will say walk out of it, but you can't walk out of it if you're dead.
Yeah, if you get Boundless Strike, you die. It's just 2 seconds
you're gone. Yeah.
He did 2.5k damage that fight, and all of it was done during like the duration of his Boundless Strike. So, well, that is absolutely brutal stuff. He's got Empower. He's does absolutely insane damage, and that was such a quick and easy Rax for Liquid to follow it up. This game is slipped out of hand very fast for IG.V.
Which is, for them, quite upsetting. As we said, this is the game that they need. They need to win both of these games against Liquid if they want to have any hope of being able to climb themselves into that upper bracket. And yeah, if this game is lost, game 2, we could see a bit of a clown fiesta. You know, the chance for both teams to test something out before heading into the lower bracket of that main event.
It feels like the Monkey King mid was a bit of that, like not so much clowny, but it was like experimental. And you're not really showing anything. Like when you're picking Magnus, CM, like everyone knows Liquid plays these heroes. So it's like, oh, they're revealing their strats. No, they're just picking the same strats that they're picking every game and that most teams are playing. The Monkey King mid, perhaps if they thought this was a serious strat, perhaps they're showing something. But, or maybe they just thought it might be good, let's test it. And it proves that, yeah, it's pretty damn good with Empower. Also the Troll attack speed buff.
Again, it's just
might be time to tap out with how much damage these heroes are doing. Battle Trance, Empower, Monkey King.
They will indeed do that. IG.V realizing that there's no way back into this one. Liquid just pretty much running away from this game since the start. Getting ahead in farm, making the superior rotations. Jug was struggling the whole game really to just ever catch up and be a core that could stand on par with what Liquid's cores had amounted to. And the draft worked out very effectively. Miracle had a great time on this Monkey King. We saw him with some fantastic setups with the ultimates each and every time. You know, consistently catching and killing, you know, at least 2 heroes. And ever since really that pause from Super and we came back in and that mid lane skewer into the RP, it all went severely downhill for Vitality.
Just not sold on silencers as a support as much as it's nice to have like a global to protect yourselves or to protect initiation. It just feels very lackluster in so many games, and then come like 25-30 minutes, everyone has BKB, Manta, Yules, whatever answer they need to get out of it. So I feel like the silencer is a bit of a weak pick, and it also made the Slatter weak too because he just couldn't really offer a whole lot. Needed a Blink Dagger, was under-leveled. Yeah, I mean, this game just, other than Paparazzi, everyone just played pretty poorly on the IG.V side and got shut down really hard by the Monkey King more than anything.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 done, and that does pretty much, it does secure the destiny for Vitality. They won't be able to get themselves up to the upper bracket. They are confirmed to the lower bracket along with Liquid, as we did know before this match started. So Game 2 could be entertaining, could be interesting. It's time for teams to test stuff out. Doesn't have any meaning, I don't believe, at all in terms of standings in the lower bracket.
No tiebreakers. Hype.
And this secures no tiebreakers, is it? Well, there we have it. So Fans of the 1v1, don't worry. That's going to be on schedule today, hopefully, unless we get some major delays. I may have jinxed it. Of course, after this series, there's one more series on both of the streams after this one. We're a little bit behind the mainstream, so I'm not too sure on the flow on that one, but I'm sure you Twitch chatters are able to check that out yourself. So don't go anywhere. Game 2, though, will be around the corner, and we could have a bit of fun with it. We'll have a look.